All right, meteorologist Brandon Lawrence here. Today we're talking with the National Weather Service in Des Moines. We've got meteorologist Brad Small, who is there at the Weather Service. And Brad, today we are talking a little bit about the storm spotter trainings, which are really not anything new. It's just new for how you guys are doing it. So first off, what is a storm spotter training?
Well, for storm spotter training, either virtual or in person, we tried to explain some of the cloud features, what spotters are looking at, how to identify wall clouds, shelf clouds, funnel clouds, and of course tornadoes, and then how to report, different methods to report, and how they're involved in the entire process.
What is the benefit of that storm spotter training for you guys, especially during severe weather setups?
Yeah, right. Spotters are very critical in the warning process. They provide a very key piece of the puzzle when we try to make a warning decision. The radar can tell us a lot of different things, but the radar does have limitations. It doesn't tell us exactly what's happening near the ground. So the more real-time feedback we can get from the field in terms of spotters or reports from law enforcement, fire department, dispatch offices, wherever they come from. In this case, we're really targeting spotters. But we need that feedback to know what the storm's producing. We might have a good idea there's some hail in the storm. We might not know, is it a lot of dime-sized hail or is it a lesser amount of hail, but maybe golf ball size. So there's a lot of different things we do know about storms from the radar, but it doesn't really tell us the ground truth about how strong the winds are, how big the hail is. We may see rotation, but not know if it's reaching the ground, things of that nature.
We saw an example of this just a few days ago, last Saturday, where we had, a severe weather setup here in Iowa, and the office had to issue a few different tornado warnings based on some spotter reports. So what is that process like when a spotter sends you information? How do you verify, obviously you've trained people, but how do you verify whether that is a valid report?
Right. We do a lot of different things. The first level, probably if the spotter provides a spotter ID, we know they've at least been to training class and have been through this process we're talking about. So we at least have that first level of knowledge. And then after that, we'll compare the report to radar data, where it occurred. Is this an anonymous report, or is there some credibility behind it? Has the person provided their name and email, or as I said, a spotter number? So we try to vet it to some degree, whether we take it for granted, make sure it fits the environment. When we issue a warning, we look at what the near storm environment is called, meaning is this a day where tornadoes are very likely or not likely? Is this a day for strong winds, large hail? Make sure the report jives with the environmental conditions as well as what we're seeing on radar.
And to maybe clarify this for people who seem interested in this, can you just explain that storm spotter training or becoming a storm spotter is not the same thing as storm chasing?
Yeah, right, absolutely. To be a spotter, we're pretty much training you to provide us information, and it's a volunteer effort. We're not asking you to go chase or alter what you're doing as far as your daily routine in your day. It pretty much lets us know that you've been through the course when we assign this spotter number, and we can plot your location on the radar data to see where you are versus what we're seeing on the storm. So it's all volunteer. We're not asking you to chase or alter what you're doing. Change your plans, leave work, whatever the case is. We're just trying to increase the number of contacts we have out in the field to give us an idea of what's happening on the ground.
So who can become a storm spotter?
Right. All of our classes historically are always free and open to the public. So if we were doing these in person, they would be free and open to the public on a first come, first served basis. In this case, you need to register. You can go to our website and a news story at the top. It's weather.gov/Des Moines, and there's a link up there where you can register for these sessions. We have 4 scheduled through mid-April, and we already have 275 people registered, but there's plenty more spots available anytime between now and I think it's April 13th. There's 4 different training sessions. The first one starts this Thursday evening.
Awesome. That sounds so exciting. And then my final thing for you, clearly you've had to move these sessions that are typically in person in different areas, of the state to an online setting. How else has, like everybody else, the COVID-19, how has this really impacted the work that you do at the National Weather Service?
Well, it's impacted the outreach we do. Of course, a lot of the presentations we've done or outreach events we've had to do have been canceled. But as far as the mission critical efforts, there's still at least 2 people here And if we need to call in more people for severe weather, we've done that. So as far as our mission and our product delivery, as far as our essential services, there really hasn't been any change.
Okay, Brad Small with the National Weather Service in Des Moines. Thank you so much, and hopefully a lot of folks will sign up for the storm spotter training.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody.